All right, welcome everybody to the Brazuka F1 E-Racing League. My name is Sterling C. Beard. Today we are in the chilly northern climes of Canada, where we will be racing at Montreal, unless of course it's actually in France and I completely misunderstood what was going on here. As a matter of fact, I think the track might actually be in France. Canadian? No, it's Canadian. Okay. If my the Canadian Grand Prix. Okay. Yep. Nope. We're good. Canada. Whew. All right. So we have, as just as with last time, a one-shot qualifier where everybody is going simultaneously here through the course in their own instances. Tire, telemetry enabled, lap data, track map, full mini map. Okay, as we join Eufapio, we have just 10 racers today, is my understanding. So we shall see exactly how people are performing. I think I need to... Oh, there we go. So we've got Pedro Proenza, Esca 0606, Hiram Pelosi, Eufapio, Martins Carlos, Ice Manlos, Cronus, Tahariel, Soldier One Assault, and Lucas Seek 19 in this beautiful wooded track here. Which consistent would appear almost entirely of a big straightaway with a smaller straightaway and a handful of hairpin turns. So it looks like lap times are going to be a little north of a minute. This is a 70-lap track. So I would expect, it looks like Esca 0606 retired from the session. So I would expect this race will probably take a little bit over an hour, probably closer to an hour and a half. Pedro Proenza so far with the fastest time, 1:11. Lucas Sick also disqualified. So we'll see how how things shake out here as the race gets underway. We'll be right back in one moment. All right, and there we have the field, folks. Pedro Proenza with the 1:11.579, followed by Eufapio, Martins Carlos, Cronus, Ice Manlos representing Panama, Tahariel, Esca 0606, Hiram Pelosi, Soldier One Assault, and Lucas Sick 19 DSQ'd. So we've only got a couple of racers today, a bit smaller field than we normally have. Should be a fun race regardless. Of course, we will await the game throwing us out. I don't know why exactly it takes so doggone long for my my Xbox One, Xbox Series X, I should say, to show exactly what's going on with the race at the beginning. But regardless, all right, Dreamer 1609 has joined, so maybe we have an 11th racer here. Because I'm not totally sure what the rulings are on if you are disqualified during the qualifier. I assume that just means you go to the back of the pack, back of the grid, I should say. Here we go. Oh, wow, and I can't... All right, possible race strategies, starting with a hard, moving to a medium, or two stops with the two mediums and a soft. All right, got our broadcast. We've got our telemetry now enabled. Here we go, watching from the very beginning here. Pedro Proenza in the pole position. We already have a caution flag out for Sector 1. It looks like we've got some trouble there for Hiram Pelosi, who looks like he has stalled out or had something happen. He's already gone out. We have a virtual safety car. We didn't even get into Sector 2. So my goodness, it looks like Hiram Pelosi had some sort of catastrophic issue and will not be finishing today. Unfortunate. That leaves us down to 9 racers. And, okay, so I thought 70 laps, my goodness. So 35 laps is going to be our actual number here. At just a bit over. So maybe a little shorter race today. Of course, if we keep having the virtual safety car come out this frequently, that's not going to be the case. We have another turn there with Rolex sponsoring things. But as I was saying, this course, it looks to me, as of course somebody seeing it for the first time, looks to consist almost entirely of straightaways, save for that little gooseneck there, that little dog leg in the middle of Section 3. Then, of course, Section 1, fastest lap right now, Pedro Proenza with a 1:27.210, as you might expect, leading the pack. Of course, this being a relatively tight track, a relatively short track. When I say short track, I think it's actually a few seconds longer than the other ones, but these turns, I see people just zipping through them quite quickly. Pack starting to stretch out a little bit now, but most of our racers not really having too much trouble keeping up. We can see here from our intervals, nobody more than 2 seconds behind their nearest competitor. And as a result, we are seeing a pretty tight pack, all things considered. All right, we do have a purple Sector 2. I assume that means that that's the fastest time in that segment set today, as we are already on the second lap out of 35. We do see some shifting now in the middle of the pack as Cronus overtakes Martins Carlos on the right-hand side. Uh-oh. Cronus swooping out of the racetrack there. Caution out in Sector 3 for that. Lucas Sick getting a caution flag, or a penalty flag. Lucas Sick does have the fastest lap time, though. 1:14.726. Ice Manlow's 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that is the danger for our racers today, with a sort of track design that keeps them close. Not totally uninterrupted long straightaways. Everybody's staying pretty close together. There's always the danger that we could end up with another just cascade of penalty flags or a large number of penalties really affecting the ending. We shall see. Weather here is starting to look a little overcast in Montreal, up in Canada. So I'm curious to see if we will be getting some rain today. Of course, as the broadcaster, I don't have access to any rain information. I don't have any voiceovers in my ear telling me, oh, looks like a storm's rolling in or anything. But we can see the course, which started out looking so nice and sunny, now has a little bit of a pall descending over it. Check again at the front of the pack here. Pedro Proenza flying through Sector 3, already getting us on to lap 4 with a 1:14.212, fastest lap of the day. Exceeded just again by Lucas Sick 19 with a 1:13.729. So Lucas Sick in second, but apparently driving the course slightly faster than Pedro Proenza. We can see Lucas Sick in the back there. Race control. Pedro Proenza does get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Pedro, I think that's his first penalty today. Race control. Cronus, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Racers maybe having a little bit of trouble keeping it between the lines here. But we can see, again, from our tail view camera here, Pedro Proenza, we can see Lucas Sick about 2.1 seconds behind. We can see him in the distance there. But closing the gap slightly. Race control and Fabio, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Most people now with the penalty flag out. Martins Carlos, Esca 0606, Soldier with Assault, Tahariel, unpenalized this lap. So we'll check out maybe some of the tight racing here. Martins Carlos, we go to the first person cam here, as he's less than half a second behind at third place with Fabio. He's got his overtake in, it looks like, and maybe looking for an opening. Goes right-hand side. No, not able to get there before the corner. Gets cut off by Fabio. Fabio moving ahead again, but only about 0.25 seconds ahead. All right, Martins Carlos. Oh, a collision. We just caught that in first person. All right, made a move to the inside. Did not get it. And he's going to bounce off of Cronus as well. Cronus, and we got the virtual safety car out again here on lap 5 out of 35. So 1/7 of the way through the race, Cronus bounced off of Martins Carlos, I couldn't tell exactly quite how it happened because I was in first-person view. It looked to me like maybe Martins had tried to pass Eska and then bounced off of Eska, then bounced off of Cronus, so we had a little bit of a pinball situation. Virtual safety car already out rather than the full safety car. So with the virtual safety car, things are going to be still a little faster. The pack is not going to coalesce quite as much. And apparently, from my understanding, the virtual safety car developed as a way for the race controllers to allow the race to sort of keep up its speed without needing the full safety car. So obviously, it slows the race down. It's kind of capped at, I think, something like 3/4 of top speed or something to that effect. We are on lap 5 already, heading into lap 6 here shortly. We do, of course, have a good battle here still brewing. Pedro Proenza up at the front with Lucas Sick 1/2 of a second behind him. Lucas Sick, interestingly enough, transparent at the moment. Not sure exactly why that is, but he is. I think that maybe AI's got some control here. I didn't see any message about him disconnecting, but we'll see. Caution out in Sector 3. Not sure who that was for. It might have been for Tahariel, who is about 13.8 seconds behind Soldier 1 Assault. Lucas Sick getting some overtake in, looks like. Trying to stay close to Pedro Proenza, about 1.5 seconds behind, going through the S-curve in Sector 2. Pushing through. Eska 0606, the only person in the top 6 here without a penalty flag right now. I checked the race control to see exactly how many people have been penalized and everything, but we do get the mystery effect of, will the winner actually be the winner without the time penalties? And plus, I don't want to have a situation where, like one of the races a little while back where I tried to do that, and Soldier 1 Assault overtaking Ice Manlos. Ice Manlos dropping to 7th, about a 1/2 second behind. I don't want to have another situation where I get caught in the race director screen and I'm unable to tell you exactly what's going on. So we drop back and check out Eufapio in 3rd, followed by Eska 0606, about 0.5 seconds behind. Martins Carlos about 1 second behind Eska. Checking out the first-person pod as we move through Sector 1. Ice Manlos, race control, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. So some gaps here kind of developing. Lucas Sick is about 5 seconds behind Pedro Proenza. Pedro Proenza driving very aggressively here. Then we have the next biggest gap coming at Soldier 1 Assault being 3.8 seconds behind Martins Carlos. Then Tariel 15.75 seconds behind Ice Manlos. So we are 1/5 of the way done with this race on lap 7 already. We'd be a little further out, except we've had the virtual safety car out twice already. You know, I have to say, as somebody whose primary experience with EA Sports was Madden, the Madden franchise, the Madden football franchise, the American football game, seeing the amount of care and, a little bit of fishtailing from Lucas, from Eufapio. He loses it. He bounces off of Eska 0606 and Martins Carlos. Eufapio, 5-second penalty, severe collision. He lost it. He fishtailed. That did not look intentional in the slightest. So the safety car is out, the real safety car this time, not the virtual safety car. I have to say, I am impressed with how well this game looks, how it handles, it would seem, and how the attention to detail by the F1 development team. It seems to me like there's a lot of care and everything and polish put in here that there just isn't with Madden. Of course, you've got two very different sports, gridiron football versus motorsports. And, you know, you still have to deal with crazy physics in motorsports, the G-forces and everything else, but you don't have collisions happening as often as you would in American football. A little bit of a pile up there with Martins Carlos, Eska, and Eufapio coming around the corner in Sector 3. But we shall see exactly how everything shakes out. I myself am personally quite excited, and this is not a paid endorsement. 5-second penalty, Eska 0606 for speeding in the pit lane. Eska, it looks like, is drive-through penalty, speeding under the safety car. So Eska 0606 grabbing a couple of penalties. We've got folks pitting here a little bit, so we'll see if, let me get the detail type, the tire. Most folks here rocking hard tires. Martins Carlos rocking mediums, Eufapio rolling with softs. Everybody else in the race rolling with hard tires. Soldierman Assault 8 laps in. Ice Vanlos also 8 laps in with hard tires, so they're pretty warm. Everybody else, however, shifting to hard tires on the pit. So I'm guessing no rain inbound. If they were, I would expect to see people start to shift to intermediates or maybe even wets if the downpour was going to be severe enough. Eufapio takes over first place over Martins Carlos. With the safety car still out on lap 9. So we're over 25% of the way done with this race already. A quicker race than I was anticipating. And again, it would be even quicker, except we've had 2 virtual safety cars and a real safety car. But I myself personally am looking forward to next month when College Football 25 drops, and I think Ice Manlos and I might wind up playing a couple of games of that, putting together the old Abilene High offenses that we used to run together. He and I actually did go to high school where he played running back, I played offensive line, so I'm certain at some point I was run blocking for Ice Manlos. And it's always a great day to be an Eagle. But other than that, lap 10 begins. Safety car still out. Not much else to say at the moment. Not a lot of action. But we are seeing the pack compact sort of bunch up again here. So we'll see the safety car out for a little while longer as everybody sort of scoots in behind it. And then our racers are going to have to be careful, as we saw earlier, when the pack gets tight, that's when bumps happen. That's when accidents tend to happen. Just because racers are closer to each other, they're going to smack into each other. It's between lag, video game controllers, the difficulty of not having full spatial awareness in a video game like this. Unless you've got VR, and I don't think this game is VR capable, you're not able to look around and see what's going on behind you to the left or the right. You've got to control the camera. And controlling the camera, if you've got the steering wheel setups, I don't know how well that works. Cronus is a DNF, actually. I just noticed that. 9th place. So we are down to 8 racers at this point. Eufapio in first, Martins Carlos second, Pedro Provenza third, Soldier One Assault fourth, Lucas Sick fifth, Eska 0606 sixth. Apropos. 7th is Ice Manlos, and 8th is Tariel. Whoa, a little bit of a wide swing there in the S-curves on Sector 3 for Eufapio. Still holding position, however. Safety car is still out. Race control, Pedro Provenza, 5-second penalty, severe collision with Martins Carlos. Okay. So I didn't catch that there. It was hidden behind the details, but apparently a severe collision there between Pedro Provenza and Martins Carlos. Pedro Provenza now drops back to third. Martins Carlos moves up to second. Pedro Provenza retired from the session, so we have a third DNF today. That brings us down to 7 racers. My goodness, this is like the Hunger Games of F1 racing. Eufapio trying not to overtake the safety car. We are on lap 11 out of 35. So about a third of the way done with this race already. At 3:21 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time, where I am streaming from. It's a beautiful, sunny, hot day here in Dallas-Fort Worth. So it's a good day to be indoors and a fun time to be watching everyone race here. Safety car in this lap again. Race control, safety car in this lap, it says. So race controls desperately trying to keep control of the race, as its name would imply. You see our racers here. It looks like Martins Carlos shimmying around a little bit, keeping his tires warm. A couple of racers doing that where they're working on warming their tires up, trying to ensure that they are set. And here we go. Safety car out this lap. He's pulled into the pit lane, which is, of course, just before the finish line on the left-hand side there. As you can see it on the right-hand side of your screen, that's in towards the pit lane. So here we go. We're back up to full speed. Eufapio in the lead, Martins Carlos second, Lucas Sick third, Soldier with Assault fourth, fifth, Eska 0606 sixth, Ice Manlos. We do see Lucas Sick overtake Martins Carlos. Lucas Sick makes a move in on the right-hand side of Eufapio, overtakes. So Lucas Sick, brilliant move, takes two positions with a single swipe. Now pushing his lead, trying to accelerate like crazy, and disaster for Eufapio, who slides off to the right-hand side of the course, goes translucent. Caution flag out. So Eufapio, 30 seconds ago, first place, now in seventh, as he slid off the right-hand side of the course in Sector 1. But we do not have a safety car out again, so let's go ahead and check it out with Lucas Sick up there in first place, about 2 seconds ahead of second place Martins Carlos. Still a tight pack, nobody more than 2.1 seconds behind the nearest racer. My goodness. All right, so we got a purple in Sector 2 briefly there. Again, I think that's supposed to be because the fastest segment got run there by someone, but we'll see. So Lucas Sick 19 now in first place here through the S-curves in Sector 3 all the way through the finish line as we kick off lap 13. Eska 0606 overtakes Soldier One Assault. All right, so yes, Eska 0606 and Soldier One Assault. Soldier One Assault, of course, driving that fabled... Oh, what a collision! Oh, my goodness! And that, I think that's going to take somebody out here. Martins Carlos drops to 7th, Eska 06 to 6th. Oh, my goodness gracious. I saw that. I did catch that one this time on the broadcast camera. So I thought for sure somebody was done. Martins Carlos is transparent. He's now no longer transparent. Collision was briefly turned off. And I think, am I seeing that right? Is it? Oh, okay. No, I'm imagining that. I thought somebody lost their wing out in front, and it might have been Eska, but I'm not sure. Let me see what the broadcast camera shows. Nope. Okay, it looks like the wings are intact for Eska. I thought I saw. Oh no, he's missing his right side wingtip. I think, if I'm seeing, I can't quite tell. Luke is sick. Race control, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I can't quite tell. Race control, DRS enabled. All right, so Eska is going to pit. Yeah, he's missing his right wingtip. Eska 0606 is missing his right wingtip, so I wasn't imagining things. It looks to me like there was some serious damage there in that collision. Although we did not get a serious collision issue. Caution out in Sector 1 as Eska 0606 is pitting. So we'll go ahead and check it out. Lucas Sick here, 5 laps in on hard tires, leading now second place Ice Manlos by 4.6 seconds. So we've seen a wild day of racing here as we are on lap 14 out of 35. My goodness gracious. So some serious collisions here. 3 DNFs out of a field of 10. We are down to 7 racers. And I you know, in a situation like this, I got to wonder what's going through our racers' heads, because I sit here as somebody who's broadcasting this, looking at how wild this field is right now. You've got Lucas Sick 5 laps in on hard tires. Ice Manlos 4 laps in on mediums. Soldier with Assault 13 laps in on hards. Eufapio 13 laps in on softs. Tahariel 6 laps in on hards. Eska 5 laps in on hards. Martins Carlos 13 laps in. So I guess the pitting there was to repair the damage rather than change tires, because nobody is down to 0 tires, 0 laps yet. But you're 15 laps in a 35-lap race. Some of these folks have already pitted once, and we have a virtual safety car out again. Oh my goodness gracious. And it looks like The issue here is Soldier One Assault. Soldier One Assault stopped dead on the course. I didn't catch why, but now picking back up speed again. It looks like he's going to be okay, but the virtual safety car is out again, so we'll see the pack compact a little bit, not a ton, but just a hair. My goodness. If you're a racer today, what is your mindset? What are you thinking in the back of your head? Is it, I don't want to get penalized? If I drive a clean sheet, I'll finish a couple of slots ahead? Is it, I've got to really push the envelope because it's so easy to get behind on this map? Now, I will say the 5.5 second lead I see for Ice Manlos here, I don't think we've seen double-digit breaks between the first and second place racers like we have in some of the other courses that I've been able to call. But DRS is enabled. Looks like the virtual safety car is out. Okay, so VSC out already. The little narrator guy reading off fun F1 facts there. Do you have Martins Carlos overtaking Eufapio as Eufapio decides to pitch, shifting to medium tires here? And the safety car is out. Why is the safety car out again? I don't understand. I don't see anybody who appears to be in trouble. But my goodness gracious. Safety car is out once again, lap 16 out of 35. So about halfway done with this race, or a little under halfway done with this race. One more lap and we will be about halfway done with this race. But safety car multiple times, virtual safety car multiple times. People having a very difficult time driving this course. Again, it's so tight in that there's not a lot of separation between our racers. We do see a double-digit separation here currently where Eska 0606 trails Soldier One Assault, 4th and 3rd place respectively, 17.1 seconds behind. Lucas Sick taking this opportunity to pit as Ice Manlos takes the lead on his medium tires, 7 laps in on those tires. Can they hold for another 15? I don't know. We see Soldier One Assault also pitting. Check out first place Ice Manlos as Ice Manlos driving the gender reveal special this week moves in up behind the safety car. 7 laps in on those medium tires is Ice Manlos. All right, so most of our racers now shifting to medium tires. We have 4 sets of medium tires, or 3 sets just now because Eufapio completed the lap with them. 3 sets of completely fresh medium tires, 0 laps in. We can see the pack start to compact behind Ice Manlos, including second place Lucas Sick, who zipped right in behind him, looking very, very hungry. Safety car picking up speed here in Sector 3. All right, the pack pretty tight in. Lap 17 out of 35 heading into lap 18 here. Will the safety car pull away this lap? No, it's going to be in for a little while longer at least, as we have 2 more people pitting. Tariel pitting, and Martins Carlos also pitting. Eska 0606 overtakes Martins Carlos. Martins Carlos pitting, moving to soft tires. As, excuse me, no, I stand corrected. It looks like Martins Carlos is overtaking Eska 0606 and Eufapio. Something weird happened there, and I didn't catch it because I was up at the front of the race. So we shift back to the broadcast camera. Don't forget, folks, I do have the stream chats open, multi-stream chats open in Streamlabs desktop, so don't hesitate to drop a line and say hi in the chat if you want to. I'd love to see people commentating alongside me in the race, just watching this fun activity here on a Saturday afternoon. 3:32 p.m. here in DFW. Race control, safety car in this lap. We see the pack is now fully compacted. And here we go. Looks like the safety car pulling away, heading for the pit lane to pull out of the race. Yep, you can see the caution lights no longer on the safety car. Several of our racers, again, snaking, trying to warm their tires up. Ice Manlos not fully sped up yet here, heading into the S-curves. Ice Manlos with the overtake in at this point, pushing and heading through the finish line as we kick off lap 19. And here we go. It is on. Ice Manlos gunning around the first turn. Lukasic right on his tail, looking for that inside corner on the right. Not able to find it. Looks like he's pushing. Nope, drifts behind Ice Manlos to the left, looking for something. Nope, not there either. Let's go to the first person view for Lukasic. Race control, ESCA 0606, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Ice Manlos playing some good defense here. Lukasic in very tight. Tight enough, I'm not sure he's going to have an easy time finding a way to slip through. Looks right, has to immediately shift down, though, to be ready for the turn. Looks left this time. Ice Manlos trying to stay left. Okay, Lukasic looks to make an overtake on the left-hand side. Will he get it? Yes, he will, just by a hair. Now trying to put some distance between himself and Ice Manlos, who's tailing in his left-hand quadrant. Just behind him. Starting to sneak away from Ice Manlos here is Lukasic. Ice Manlos decides to go ahead and pit at this point. Goes flying into the pit lane, actually. Looks like Ice Manlos dropping now to 7th. Let's see what he chooses to do with his pit. Shifts to a new pair of medium tires. Apparently not liking how the ones he used to have were feeling. So Ice Manlos now in 7th place, goes from 2nd to 7th in the blink of an eye because the pack is so crushed together. Purple for Sector 1, so somebody just had some good time there. Lukasic about 1.3 seconds ahead of Soldier One Assault on lap 20, so just 15 more laps to go. Martins Carlos overtaking Tariel and ESCA 0606 at this point, moving up all the way to 3rd. So everybody now, except for Martins Carlos, rolling with some medium tires. Martins Carlos rolling with softs and overtakes Tariel as well. Tariel drops back to 4th. As we check out Martins Carlos on the broadcast cam, Lukasic with the fastest lap time, minute 12 here for Mercedes. All right, ESCA 0606 overtakes Tariel. Eufapio overtakes Tariel. We have a caution out in Sector 1. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it looks like maybe we had a little bit of danger. We had the caution flag briefly, but no virtual safety car, no safety car. So the race will continue. 14 laps to go here on lap 21. All right, we see several second gaps now. This field has rapidly opened up. Soldier Wood Assault 3.7 seconds behind first place Lukasic. Martins Carlos trails by 2.6. ESCA 0606 by 3. Eufapio by 3.1. Tahariel by 7.2. Ice Manlos by 2.4. So here's the question now, if you are the racers. Everybody's down in single digits. Nobody has more than 5. Okay, Ice Manlos just overtakes Tahariel. Actually, it looks like Tahariel choosing to, oh my goodness, Tahariel having some difficulty here. around the Rolex hill. I thought he pitted for a minute. No, it does not appear to be the case. Icemanlos flying through the S-curves in Sector 3. But if you're a racer here, everybody is on Icemanlos now overtaking Eufapio, rapidly trying to regain the ground he lost by pitting earlier. He's now 13 seconds behind fourth place Eska 0606, who just got a time penalty, as did Icemanlos. But looking at it, everybody has at most 5 laps in on their current sets of tires. Tahariel choosing to pit, shifting to medium tires. Eufapio 0 laps in on soft tires. You've got 13 laps left. We're on laps 22 out of 35. What is your strategy here? Do you try to ride these medium tires? Typically with Martins Carlos, you got 4 laps in on softs. Can you get all the way through the rest of the race? There's, again, 13 laps left. I'm not sure that you can, especially not on something where it's this tight, it's this difficult. I mean, I think everybody might be locked into their current sets of tires for the remainder of the race, just because things are going to be so tight that pitting, even with a few seconds lead, you need really more like 15 or 20 seconds if you're hoping to get through it without getting overtaken. And I don't think I've seen a single person today maintain their position while pitting. I think everybody has dropped all the way back to the back of the pack when they've pitted, just because everybody is so tight in here in Montreal. But again, we are seeing the back of the pack really sort of open up. Icemanlos 11.9 seconds or so behind Eska 0606. Eufapio 13 seconds behind him. Tahariel 21 seconds behind him. At the front of the pack, things better by about 50%. Soldier One Assault 6.6 seconds behind Lucas Sick. Martins Carlos 2.7 seconds behind Soldier One Assault. Eska 0606 5 seconds behind Martins Carlos. So we'll go ahead and pause here for a moment while I run to the facilities. Now we'll be back.
Not just F1 cars you see here. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has previously hosted the FI World Sports Car Championship, Show Car World Series, and the Grand
And we are back. 9 laps left to go. Here we are on lap 26. Lucas Sick in first, 9.9 behind Soldier with Assault. Martins Carlos, 2.7. Ice Manlos, 18.8. Esca 0606, 6.5. Eufapio, 5.4. Tahariel, 26.0. So the pack, again, lengthening out. Nobody really near each other at this point, although Lucas Sick on the verge of maybe lapping Tahariel. Everybody save for Soldier One Assault and Martins Carlos with penalty flags as well. So that's the question is, if you get down to the end of the race and it's close, let's say somebody has to pit or something happens, a collision, hopefully that does not happen. Lucas Sick actually choosing to pit here, going from 9 laps on medium tires. He's 10 seconds ahead of Soldier One Assault. We'll see what happens here. He does shift, and he goes to soft tires, apparently looking to sprint at the very end as Soldier One Assault overtakes, as does Martins Carlos. So Lucas Sick dropping from first to third. Soldier One Assault 10 laps in. Martins Carlos 9 laps in on soft tires. You've got 8 laps left at this point. Lucas Sick moving to soft tires, I guess looking to really sprint and close here at the end. He's going to have a few laps to get those tires warm before things really start to matter. Esca 0606, fastest time now with a 1:12.622. So here we go. 8 laps left. Time penalties on everybody except for Soldier One Assault in first and Martins Carlos in second. Boy, this is a beautiful raceway to look at, just with the forests and what appears to be a lake and a river or a creek of some sort. I enjoy the aesthetics of this track perhaps the most of all. All right, so let's take a look here at Martins Carlos, who's just 2.5 seconds behind Soldier One Assault. Lucas Sick just 1.2 seconds behind him. Lucas Sick prowling like a predator, looking for an opening for an overtake. And here we go, Lucas Sick right up the tailpipe of Martins Carlos, looking in on the right-hand side, looking for that opening. Will he overtake? Yes, he does. Lucas Sick now overtaking, moving into second place. We have a caution out in Sector 3, and it looks like Esca 0606 is going to DNF. Unfortunate. We have now dropped to, I believe, 6 racers. So awful there for poor Esca 0606. So that means that fully 1, 2, 3, 4 people today have DNF'd. We've started out with 10. We will finish with at least 6, I hope. But the way this has been going, who knows? Lucas Sick now on the tail of Soldier One Assault. Lucas Sick, again, very close, looking for that opportunity. And if you were Esca 0606 has left the session, so yeah, it looks like that's going to be it today for Esca. Lucas Sick now making his move on the right-hand side. Just Soldier One Assault overtakes. 1 lap in on those soft tires. Oh, and he bounced off the boundary in Sector 3. I caught that on the broadcast camera. I wonder if that affected his handling at all. Soldier One Assault just a half second behind. Lucas Sick wildly overtaking and then slipping, it looked a little bit to me. Time penalties out for Lucas Sick, Ice Manlos, Eufapio, and Tahariel. Soldier One Assault and Martins Carlos clean this lap, it looks like. Lucas Sick now in position where he could start thinking, okay, maybe he can overtake here. 6 laps left, soon to be 5 as soon as Lucas Sick crosses it. He's got his overtake in, pushing through 8th gear, flying down the straightaway at 11,000 RPM. Very quickly back into overtake after that S-curve is Lucas Sick. So driving aggressively looking to put as much distance as possible between him and Soldier One Assault. And they're up to 3 seconds on that gap, so slowly but surely adding on to that lead. Watching the way that Lucas Sick has been handling these S-curves has actually been really impressive. That it feels to me like that's where he's been able to make a couple of overtakes, and it really, he glides through them almost effortlessly, very, very quickly, very, very efficiently. It's fascinating to watch. You can see here from the broadcast camera, barely slowing down. He's still in 6th gear, shifting back up into 7th. The fact that he's able to take these, obviously he's not going to do that with the Rolex turn here, this hairpin, but back into 4th, 5th, into 7th with overtake, back into 8th already, flying up through 11,000 RPM on his engine. And here we go. Lucas Sick flying through the finish line, 4 laps left. There we go. Around the hairpin turn at the beginning of Sector 1. Looking, you can tell Lucas Sick hungry for that overtake up to Hariel. He's laser locked. He's got radar lock here. Cutting into these corners on the turns very efficiently. We can see he's now 6.3 seconds ahead, 6.5 seconds ahead of Soldier One Assault, and that number keeps rising. 6.8, 6.9. So this is where I'm guessing Soldier One Assault is most, or excuse me, Lucas Sick is most comfortable, is in those curves where he's able to kind of glide through them without having to rapidly gear down. Because he's now up 7.5 seconds roughly on Soldier One Assault, and we can see the back half of the pack, and I say half of the pack because it is the back half. Ice Manlos 23.8 seconds behind Martins Carlos, Eufapio 29.5 seconds behind Ice Manlos, and Tahariel 13.8 seconds behind Eufapio. Soldier One Assault 7.8 seconds behind Lucas Sick. Martins Carlos 2.4 seconds behind Soldier One Assault. Martins Carlos pitting now with 3 laps left. He's got 13 laps in though on his soft tires. I'm not sure he had much of a choice, to be honest, because if you're in that situation, 13 laps in on soft tires is wild. He does have some time to spare though. Ice Manlos may not be able to close. We'll see. He's starting to come out of the pit lane here. We can see Ice Manlos in the back, desperately trying to put in some overtake, maybe catch up. No, not overtaking yet, but now just 7 seconds behind, so he's got made up about 13 seconds. The gap, however, shifting forward as Martins Carlos is now 18 seconds behind Soldier One Assault, who's 10 seconds behind Lucas Sick. Lucas Sick, of course, successfully having overtaken Tahariel. Now flying through. Overtake in for Lucas Sick. Heading through here. Looks like he's going to lap Eufapio as well. And there he is, lapping him in the pit lane. So flying through Sector 3 into Sector 1 is Lucas Sick. Tahariel now overtakes Eufapio. Eufapio going for medium tires here at the end of the race. Tahariel 44 seconds behind Ice Manlos. Lucas Sick, those soft tires, like I said, he's making it a true sprint, trying to put as much distance as he can just in case something goes wrong, maybe overcome some time penalties. 11 seconds ahead of Soldier One Assault. Now, remember, we saw last week where we thought for sure that we knew who the winner was, and then because of time penalties, Tahariel, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, speak of the devil. But because of multiple time warnings, Ice Manlos, who'd driven a clean sheet impressively last week, took the victory by the narrowest of margins because he had not had any time penalties. Now, obviously, he's not been so fortunate this week. We can see Ice Manlos in 4th with the time penalty flag currently out. But the smallest gap right now, Eufapio, 8.3 seconds behind Tahariel. Tahariel, 47.7 seconds behind Ice Manlos. Ice Manlos, 12.7 seconds behind Martins Carlos. Martins Carlos, 13 seconds behind Soldier One Assault. Soldier One Assault, 12.7 seconds behind Lucas Sick, as we are on to lap 34 out of 35. So 2 more laps to go here, folks. maybe not quite the high drama that we have seen previously, just because the pack is so small and so spread out at this point. But we could watch this this masterclass here in first person as Lukasik endeavors to open up the biggest lead he can, maybe overcome any time penalty shenanigans that could cost him the W. Riding those edges of those S-curves, making great time through those S-curves. Of course, there's this hairpin turn here, the Rolex turn, where he has to gear down to first gear, all the way down to first gear. Very quickly, however, back into 6th, 7th, and 8th. "14 seconds is his lead over Soldier with Assault at this point. Fabio 5.1 seconds behind Tahariel. At this point, I'm pretty sure nobody is within viewing distance of anybody else. You know, I say that Soldier with Assault, it looks like, I think he is trailing Tahariel there, looking to maybe lap Tahariel if he can. Martins Carlos, nobody in viewing distance before or behind. Ice Vanlos, same situation, nobody anywhere near him. Tahariel, you know, has folks coming up from behind, but nobody in his visual chase right now, although he is in 5th place. Fabio in 6th, looking like he's going to try to overtake, I think that's Ice Manlos. But it's a bit confusing because Fabio is listed as 6th behind Tahariel, but he's closest to Ice Manlos. And here we are on the final lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Coming through Sector 3 is Lukasik, 17 seconds ahead. We'll see if we can't get a chat with the winner of today's race once we discover who that's going to be. And Lukasik almost hitting the wall there at the end of Sector 3, but he will fly through the finish line. 3 minutes remaining in the clock as Lukasik gliding through the remainder of Sector 1, waiting for time to expire. No one else has finished just yet. We do see a caution flag out in Sector 3, though. Soldier with Assault still leads. In second now, Soldier with Assault, Fabio also finishing. Ice Manlos still waiting to finish here. Working his way through. The only racer, in fact, to not finish so far, Ice Manlos. Flooring it, trying to get through Sector 3, finishing at least 4th. Assuming, of course, the time penalties work out. We'll see here. 2 minutes 19 left digitally in the race, but as we cross the finish line from Ice Manlos' first-person view, that will do it today. Now, given the fact that we had some shenanigans with the time, today's driver of the day, Lukasik, and no wonder. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure, did Lukasik even qualify? Or was he disqualified during the qualifier? I don't remember, but we shall see here. We'll go ahead and skip the little video so we can get our results overall. Overall, first place, Lukasik. 2 time penalties for 6 seconds, but he does walk away with 25 points. Soldier with Assault, 13 seconds behind in second place. Martins Carlos in third, 18.1 seconds behind. Ice Manlos, 44 seconds behind with 2 time penalties. Coming in fourth, Fabio in 5th. Tahariel in 6th. And then we have multiple DNFs today in Esca 0606, Pedro Proenza, Cronus, and Hiram Pelosi. Esca 0606, however, will walk away with a point today, thanks to the fastest lap, it looks like. So we'll see if we can't get an interview here with Lukasik 19. An impressive performance today, as we saw. And we see here 4 different pits. Medium hard, medium soft, looking to make that end run as fast as he could. Soldier with Assault played it more conservatively, rode the heavy tires for most of the race before shifting to mediums. Martins Carlos, medium soft, soft. So medium hard, medium soft there for Lukasik. An impressive showing, no doubt. We can see here, yep, he pitted, went hard at lap 9, 17, and then 27. So medium, hard, medium. Interesting to start with the mediums. We'll see if we can't get an interview with Lucas Sick here in the Brazuka F1 e-racing league. So we do have the tab muted. We'll see if we are able to get him in here. All right. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get him here today, but everyone, thank you for joining me on today's broadcast of the Brazuka F1 e-racing league. I've been your host, Sterling C. Beard. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you